Okay, perfect. So now this section is being recorded. Spotlight. Okay. All right. So I want to welcome you all to this program, Virtual Assistant Nigeria. And in today's section, we are welcoming those who are just joining us, the new aspiring VAs or VAs that are going to be with us today. So uh, again, you're welcome to Virtual Assistant Nigerian program, and some of you have joined through different link, maybe through some referral process from your friends, uh, from the internet, from social media campaign and stuff like that. But regardless of however you find out about this program, we are saying welcome to you all, and we're going to be getting to know you. So two things here. We have our senior level, second level, and those of you are joining us today at the third level. So my name is Musamio Adiola. I'm going to be your VA coach in this program. And I'm going to be explaining what this programs entails. I know some of you have a lot of questions about this program, and we have been saying it on your survey form that you filled. So I'll be your VA coach. I am an entrepreneur. I am a coach myself. I've been coaching VAs, and I've also worked virtually a lot and for different multiple clients. And I see passion in this, and I think there is a future for all of you here in this field. So far so good that we have started this program. We have been able to train and also learn some of our VAs job opportunities as a VA. So two things you're going to be getting from this program is learning and training you, giving you the skills that you need, and then also trying our best to find you an opportunity to work for a client. So because of those of you who are here already with us, we're going to be doing two things today, welcoming the student, our new student, and also we're going to have a guest speaker that will be speaking with us today. I'm going to introduce him shortly. He's going to be joining us anytime soon. And with that being said, again, I want to use the opportunity to welcome you all. And we're gonna get to know you with time. It takes time, but we're gonna get to know you. And all we ask from you is your dedication, consistency, and also uh following along the process as we are training you. So I'm gonna answer all your questions that you might have. Like, we have been seeing questions like how long is this program for? Uh, what is it really about and all of those things. But we're gonna take it step by step. And I'm seeing more people joining. I want everyone to come on board to we bring in our speaker for today. Uh, so yeah, so now in this program, I am your coach, Mr. Samuel Adiola. We also have our captain, Usman Abdulrahman. I'm also going to tell him to unmute himself and introduce himself. Usman.
Yeah, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is Usman Abdurrahman, and for this training, I'll be the team lead, like the captain of the class. So I'm a digital marketer and also a virtual assistant. So we'll be together throughout this ride. So if you have any issues along the way, feel free to reach out. You are welcome once again.
Thank you, Usman, Captain. And yeah, so that is Usman. I would have loved to ask everyone to just introduce themselves, but I'm looking at the timing and, it's gonna take a while to call on everyone to introduce themselves. So I'll just pick randomly on those who are seniors here to introduce themselves. Let's see. I think we have Agbola. Agbola, if you can unmute yourself and introduce yourself, tall, especially the new students who are just joining, let them know your experience in this program and what they should expect. Is Agbola here? Okay. While we wait for him, Agbola, you're muted. Let me see if we can unmute you. What about Wafia? Is Wafia here?
No, she's not here.
Okay. She's not here yet. Okay. And sometimes, there's always issues with network issues, breaking down internet and stuff like that. Let me quickly run down before we bring in our guest speaker. So those of you who just join us, we have a dream, and the dream is to give you the opportunities that you want or you're aiming for, right, to achieve. And with that dream, the only way we can accomplish it is your dedication. And to be an aspiring VA, you need to have what it takes, the resources, the skills, and the training. So we're going to skill you, we're going to upskill your skills. Those of you who already have the skills, right? And we have all caliber here. We have people who are good at copywriting. We have people who are, say, especially at social media management. We have people who are, good at content creating. So it doesn't matter whatever your field is, our goal and aim is to look at what you have, upskill you with some more skills, and also cross skill you to have other skills that we think might be useful for you whenever you are working for a client. Okay, so yeah, so that is something that we want you to look towards. And with that being said, I think we have our guest, our speaker for today in, and then I'm gonna give like 2 minutes or 3 minutes before we bring him in to start speaking. Okay. So, Aguilar, are you with us? Is Christy here? Christy.
Yes, I think Christy joined. Agbola's network has kicked him out.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Christy, yes. Can you introduce yourself and tell, especially the new student, what to expect and how your experience has been with this program since you started?
Okay, good day, everyone. My name is Christiana Ison, and I'm a web designer, a graphics designer. I think I joined this wonderful platform last year or last 2 years, and I must say it has been a life-changing opportunity. We've had lots of classes, lot of drilling, and we've learned so much. And the thing is, if you are determined to make it in the online space, this is an opportunity that you need to grab with both hands. It has been a wonderful opportunity so far, and I can say that I am a better version of myself since I joined this opportunity. So for the new guys, I will just let them know that they should give it all it takes. It's not actually an easy um, stage, because sometimes you might have some things that you are doing alongside, but if you are determined to really make it in the online space, then this is the perfect opportunity. And I just hope that we all grab and use and make the most of this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Christy, for sharing your experience and motivating those who are just joining, and especially the level twos and the level three as well. Uh, Christy is one of our senior level students at the top, and most especially the senior level students, they have been able to partake in some internship program whereby we kind of like give them what to expect whenever they are in a live job situation, right? So, and also, as I said, the process are three. You enroll, we train you, give you the skills you need, and then we try to look for opportunities for you as it comes. But all of these things require patience, right? And dedication, giving it your best, because we only want to narrow down to the best, like the top best VAs, right? So that means there is competitive, right? So the better you are, the more you attract us. Whenever we find a client, the better we're gonna recommend. We're gonna look at how your dedication process is. So far in this program, we are monitoring all your levels, like how you submit assignment, your project, and things like that. So when we feel confidence, then we can actually pull you out. Give you more drilling through some internship program, and then direct you to the client. So, but again, it's gonna all requires your dedication and willingness to just abide by the regulations and do the assignment and all those things that we're gonna be teaching you. So yes, so I'm very excited that you are all here. We have about 37 right now, and also I can see our speaker uh is in with us already too as well. So what I'm gonna do right now is gonna talk to us and culture educate us. And if you have any questions at the end of the speech, we will take in questions and then we'll be able to answer your questions. I want to thank him very much that he has given his time and to come and join us today in this section. So hopefully we'll be seeing him often. So far so good. I'm going to introduce him by letting you know who he is, and I'm going to try to project my screen, right? And okay, so here with us we have Mr. Abdul Fattah Habu, and is a technology enthusiastic. Abdul Fattah is a cloud application support engineer with over a decade of experience in providing services to a diverse user base. So his expertise lies in resolving technical challenges, collaborating with cross-functional team, and ensuring customer satisfaction. Let's dive into this journey. So he undertook his BSc degree in information technology as IT from Western Governors University. Currently working at Kion. Kion is a big cloud uh, application system, which is going to also tell us about later on. So is working with them currently as a cloud application support engineer number two, like two. Prior experience include working as cloud support engineer in analytics and networks at Amazon Web Service, that is AWS, commonly known as, in Dallas, Texas, network operations center analyst at the following company, uh, Net in Dallas, Texas, CompuCom in Dallas, Texas, Northrop Grumman in New York. So he is a junior network engineer at the school district of New Rochelle in New York City, USA. Infrastructure support analyst at New York University Medical Center in New York. He's a client technician or senior associate at Dell Technology Manufacturers of Dell Computer in Nashville, Tennessee. So with that being said, we welcome you to this section, and I'm gonna give our brother Abdul Fattah the audience to speak to us.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
thank
we
you.
can.
All right.
We can hear you.
Okay, great.
Yes, I can hear you. She didn't call me. I can hear you, sir.
Okay, great. Well, it's a pleasure joining you, and Actually, I have to say I'm super excited to virtually meet all of you. I have spoken to Brother Muzamil. He's like a brother to me. We happen to live in Dallas together, and we've been, sharing a lot of ideas here and there. And he mentioned this program that you guys are having, and I think it is a very great, great opportunity for you to have, a platform like this for you to be trained and skilled in IT. Some of us, as an introduction, I'm originally from Ghana. And so I relocated to the United States almost 20 years ago, I believe. Yeah. And so some of us never had opportunities like this to be skilled before, entering into the labor force. Yes, I went to school. I did my fair share of, trying a lot of things here and there. However, getting a tailored, project-based training like you guys are having is marvelous. It wasn't there when some of us were growing up. And so I think I applaud those who came up with the system. I applaud Brother Muzamil and his colleagues for coming out with a program like this. And I just, I'm here just to encourage you and urge you to take full advantage of it because it's no small feat to have, a system like this that can train you to be job ready. Well, I was given a specific topic to discuss today, which is digital transformation and skill enhancement. Basically talk about, reskilling, upskilling and cross-skilling. I don't know all of your background, but from the little I've heard, most of you are college graduates, right? And some of you may still be in school. Am I correct in assuming that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, if that is the case, I'm sure you all have realized, especially, and I think that applies everywhere around the world, having just college education is not enough, unless, of course, you are graduating in, an area that is job ready. But majority of the areas of studies are not job ready. In other words, you having, your bachelor's degree may not necessarily be, enough for you to land a job. If you are lucky and you land the job, you still have to train and be ready for the job. And so, reskilling basically would apply to everyone in college, in my opinion, except if you are in the medical field. Even in the medical field, we realize that you finish your bachelor's and you still have to, pursue other, studies to get you ready for the job. So basically, reskilling, in essence, especially when we talk about digital, reskilling in terms of digital transformation, you are basically talking about, this modern lifestyle we find ourselves, where both the individual and organizations will have to, find a way of integrating digital technology into their lives. If it's an organization, then they want to, integrate digital transformation or digital technologies into their whole business process, how they run their business. That would be basically what you mean by digital transformation. On a personal level, on an individual level, you would be talking about you being ready to apply, the digital life that we find ourselves in. You should be able to know how to, search for information if you are looking for one. You should be able to use some basic things like your cell phone to be able to chat with people via, video like we are doing right now, using, technologies like Zoom and other, platforms to be able to interface other people around the world to get work done. So basically, that is what I would define as digital transformation. It is your ability to move from where you are into the modern world. For a business, it means that almost everything they do, from how they hire people to how they end up with their end product, will have to be transformed from what they used to do, which was not digitally, informed, to the digital, world that we find ourselves. This obviously like I said, would actually impact your whole life if you're an individual. And for an organization, it also impacts their whole systems. Like I said, even the way we hire people has changed. It used to be that you have to go and line up and then wait in an office and then be called in, and then somebody will physically look at your resume and ask you questions and stuff like that. And then you get a next round interview. All of these have changed because we're in the digital world. You are able to conduct an interview and land a job even without seeing an office. And so all of this, like I said, from how they hire a personnel to how they ship their end product to the customer has been transformed. And that is what you mean by digital transformation. So if you want to understand that, you just have to be ready to move from your previous thought process to a new thought process. That is how I would define digital transformation. Now, of course, with digital transformation comes what? Enhancement of skill. You are here because you want to be able to take what you didn't know and then apply it to something that is required. So you have a customer who has certain requirements to be met. So you want to be trained and be ready so that you can, sell your skill to someone to be able to use your skill to achieve some of these things I've just mentioned. If it's a business, how they end up actually shipping their end product, you want to be part of that process. And since the method of doing that has changed, of course, you will need people who are skilled in that sphere so that they can help move the organization to the direction in which they want to move. This may require, reskilling or upscaling or cross-scaling. What is reskilling? Reskilling in the case of us right now, that applies to us is where you have graduated. It may be actually a situation where you graduated, let's say, in economics or statistics, and yet you want to do some of the things you are doing right now, content management, graphic design. That may not be something you actually studied per se at a university, but your reskilling means that you are using the little knowledge you have acquired to actually learn something new, right? And so it is acquiring a new skill or updating an existing one. And sometimes it may be that, yes, you graduated in an area that is similar to what you are actually going to work in. But because technology is moving so quickly, you may have to reskill again to be able to meet the demands of the times. And so that is what reskilling may be. Now, of course, when reskilling comes in, it comes with its own opportunities. Opportunities in the sense that right now, if you were doing something manually, let's say, for instance, data entry, right? It used to be with data entry, you have a form and you keep filling up stuff like, the person's first name, last name, address, telephone number, stuff like that. Now with the new world we live in, just knowing data entry is not enough. You would have to perhaps learn something about, say, data analytics. So you're not just getting the data, you want to be able to analyze the data as well. You want to be able to present the data in a medium that is enticing, put graphics in it, add, bar graphs, or pie charts, or, put it in the geographic region if you're talking about addresses, so that whoever is going to consume the data would see it and then be able to consume it better than just seeing a bunch of numbers on a long sheet. So if you are used to just be a data entry analyst where all you do is just enter the data, now you have to reskill so that not only do you enter the data, you're able to clean up the data. By clean up, you're able to remove duplicates. You're able to make corrections. You're able to compare the existing data with an older data or any new entry, and be able to present the data in a palatable way, something more enticing. So now you become a manual data entry person to perhaps something called a data analyst. So that is reskilling, basically. And this prepares individuals, so that you are ready for technologies that may not necessarily be here right now, or they are emerging. For instance, right now, everybody's talking about artificial intelligence, right? If you are a data analyst, and then if you are a manual data entry and you reskill to become a data analyst, you are basically getting yourself ready for any emerging technology like artificial intelligence, AI, cloud computing, for instance, because it used to be that everything you're doing on your own laptop or your own computer. Right now, you don't necessarily have to do things on your own computer. You may be on a cloud platform, and then you are putting everything on the cloud so that everybody around the world can consume that same content. And so reskilling actually prepares you for those emerging technologies. Now, then we can talk about upscaling. Upscaling, maybe you are already in a particular field, but then you are improving your skills so that you are preparing for future roles. So again, the same example I cited. First, you are a manual data entry person. Now you are a data analyst. So you can upskill by learning what is AI so that when AI comes to be the norm, it's not the norm, it is emerging, right? You have AI integrated with everything. Almost everyone of us, I mean, if we are from Africa, we rely so much on, what do you call it, WhatsApp, right? Because for us here in the West, we use that. For us here in the West, we use that to communicate with our folks back, in abroad. And then those of you back in Africa also use that to communicate with each other and then also with people in abroad. And so if you are using WhatsApp right now, you would see that AI is already integrated in it. And you can use it to do a whole lot beyond just texting and sharing photos and videos. But if you are not ready to use it, you don't know the skills to use it, then all you do is have a phone, a beautiful phone, a fancy looking phone, and you are limiting the use of WhatsApp. So that's just an example. So we have billions of people using WhatsApp right now, but how many of them are actually using the integration of AI into WhatsApp to get a lot of things done to make their lives easier? Maybe 1% or less than 1% of the population may even be aware of what I'm talking about. So again, the issue of upskilling comes in. You already know how to use WhatsApp, but learning, something additional to just using WhatsApp means that you are upscaling, you are actually improving upon your existing knowledge so you can make better use of the same technology that you're already using. Then we go about cross-scaling. Cross-scaling, I don't think I have a great example when it comes to individuals. It is normally at the organizational level. Usually we have, every organization is divided into departments. Right now, I'm sure the training you are having, some people are concentrating on graphic designing, some may be concentrating on social media and stuff like that. So if you are limiting yourself with graphic design, somebody may say, you know what, let me also attend a class that will teach me about social media. Why? Because perhaps I can adapt and then sell my graphic design skill more on social media. Or I can actually start creating content and make my content more beautiful because I have the expertise of graphic design. I started as a graphic designer, when I was growing up in Ghana. That is somewhere in the 1990s. It was a big deal then. I was using CorelDRAW, very limited software, and I thought I was one of the best. Now, when I came to the United States, I never did it for a long time. I was concentrating on, pursuing other skills. If families and friends tell me to design something for them, I realize how far backwards I am. I can never claim to be a graphic designer anymore. Why? Because I never, improved upon what I've done. I didn't upskill, I didn't learn the new technologies or emerging technologies that have been introduced in graphic design. So that's an example. If you stay where you are with your learned skill, then times will go and then pass you by. If you already landed a job, you're likely to lose your job because another candidate will come with better skill set, and that person would take over from you. Or you get stuck where you are and you wouldn't be able to move beyond where you currently are. Now, cross-skilling here means that you have other skills so that you can communicate and be able to work with other departments. I'll give you a perfect example with what I do. I work with Kion. Kion is a software that designs applications so that companies that are using cloud computing I don't know if you are familiar with cloud computing, but some of you may have heard of Amazon Web Services or Azure or Google platform, Google Compute platform. I don't know. Have you ever heard anyone here familiar with it?
AWS.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just want to, make sure that it is, I can hear feedback from you. So you are familiar with that. So basically, a lot of companies are now relying on cloud computing. Majority are using one or two or more. So it used to be once, most companies are using AWS or Azure or GCP, which is Google. Now, they don't want to rely on one company. So majority are using two or more. But, it is a new technology, right? People are just launching their services on cloud computing. And the cloud companies are super happy. Like Amazon, they are very happy that people are using it. Google is happy. And so is Microsoft for Azure. But what people don't realize is that you spend a lot of money on the services that you are using. If you launch service, you pay by usage. And so it's just like having a computer. If you buy a computer, you just bought it, you paid it off, right? The computer belongs to you. So if you use it or you don't use it, you've already paid for it. Cloud computing is not like that. You launch computers on the cloud. You use it, you pay for it. If you don't use it and you don't shut it down, you continue to pay for it. So you don't just pay and then it's gone. No, you continuously pay for it. So companies realize that there are entities that are actually spending hundreds of thousands of dollars that they didn't have to on this cloud, sphere. And so companies like my company, what they did was to design a software that would constantly look at your cloud presence and see whether you are wasting money. So you may have so many computers that are launched that are not being used. And I'll give you an example. I mean, we had a customer that we wanted to show how much money they could save. And, just on one day, we realized that they could save over $500,000. I mean, $500,000 is something that is going wasteful. So opportunities come. Every skill that you gain have emerging opportunities. So you learn how to use computers, you learn how to use cloud computing, you now have to learn how to protect yourself from being taken advantage of. So that is, the issue of, being reskilled, upscaling, and then also cross-scaling. In my job, what I'm doing is to help customers solve problems that they encounter when they are using our software. I hate coding. I don't know anything about coding. However, when I grab logs to see where the issue is, guess what? The issue, the application is written in a language. So if I see a log that tells me that this is where something crashed, how do I understand it if I don't understand coding? So I was forced to upskill or cross-skill so that I learn a little bit of coding, just enough so that I can interpret the logs I get. So that is what cross-skilling comes in. By doing so, even though it's not required, but it makes me a better, technician. It makes me a better engineer. It gives me the ability to communicate better with the next department, which is the coding department or the engineering department. So when I see a problem, I can say, hey, I think this is where the problem is. It makes their work easier. It makes me more important because basically I'm not just throwing, an issue to them. I'm actually guiding them to make their work easier. The same way, they will also guide me to help me resolve the initial problem that I brought in. So cross-skilling sometimes may be very important in the job you find yourself. Why? Because it enhances whatever you already know. So in brief, this is how I want you to look at the knowledge that you are acquiring. For some of you, it may be a brand new area that you have no idea, and therefore that is your reskilling. For some of you, it is an area you're already in, but you want to upskill because there are emerging technologies that you want to learn that you don't know previously. And so you are upscaling. And for some of you, you are already here, you are comfortable, but you see a relationship between what you are doing and a different skill that you think it is worth actually, grabbing to add into your repertoire of, knowledge. to make your work easier. You may not necessarily be doing that thing, but it makes your work easier, and it makes it easier for you to understand how the other person who takes over from you, would make your work easier or make that person's work easier. So if you have any questions on, what I've said or anything, professionally, you can ask. But I just I cannot, emphasize enough how important it is for us to continuously learn. Knowledge is not static. And if there's anything, what I believe is that everything we do in this world, everything, without exception, can be a waste. Even eating can be a waste, right? If you overeat, you may get sick, or you eat the wrong food and then, you throw up, or if you eat less, you get angry, or you eat the wrong food and then you get sick, So even water, anything that we do, sleep is a requirement, right? You can oversleep. So if you sleep too much, you wake up and you are sluggish. You can barely stand on your feet to do the next task. If you sleep less, then you are sleepy at work. So basically, everything that we do, you can either overdo it, underdo it, it can harm you, or it can, make you better. But knowledge, in my opinion, is one thing that can never go lost. You never waste knowledge. I'll give you a perfect example. You are in college and, you end up in, a medical, a classroom that is teaching something related to medicine. And you are an art student, so you don't know anything about medicine. And then you happen to just sit there and listen for a few minutes and walk away. You would learn something. That thing would just be there. Even though you are not using it, one day you will go to the doctor and then somebody mentions, something, and then you remember, I heard about this. So knowledge is one thing, God Almighty has, given. It's a gift that, no one should think that I'm wasting my time learning something. Or, okay, it may not be useful, or I may not get a job. No, grab it when you have it. Just remember that, the time that you have right now should be used, because you don't know what tomorrow has. Tomorrow, you may not have the time, you may be sick, you may be working, and so you wouldn't have the time to actually enjoy or be able to do what you are doing right now. So I just want to encourage you to grab the opportunity you have and not waste it. Take all the time you have and then gain as much as you can. And then, the future is unknown, but then you just have to be ready for it when it comes. Okay. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, brother Abdul Fattah. That was a wealth of knowledge you just shared with us from every angle, from your experience, from your knowledge, and from the skills that you have. We really appreciate that wealth of knowledge. So I think now is the time that we want to open up for Q&A section, questions and answer. And this is the time we want our VAs to take opportunity on, asking questions that you might have in regards to what he has spoken about, the upskilling, how cross-scaling, and the other one, which is the upskilling, cross-scaling, and the I forgot. So also how the world is moving fast in the digital space, and that is why you are all here, right, today with us. So this is the time we want you to ask questions. And Reskilling, thank you for Margaret. And Reskilling, yes. So so now, does anyone have any questions? Or if you have a question, you can unmute yourself and ask your question, or you can raise up your, yes.
I have a
Yes,
question, sir.
Krista, yes, go ahead.
Please, I wanted to ask speaker. Sir, please, are you trying to say that why cross-skilling, we don't really need to be a professional in the new skill? We just need to know enough just to help our work be easy. I just want a little bit of clarification in that aspect.
Yes. So of course, if you know enough, the more you know, the better. But what I'm saying is that sometimes, depending on the sphere in which you are, you may not necessarily want to know so much because you are going to work in that sphere. Now, if you have both, guess what? if opportunity comes on the other end, you are better, equipped to be able to move in case there are, opportunities there and the opportunities in your area is no longer available. Perfect example. I like examples because it draws, home what I'm talking about. I started out as just a regular computer tech, from Ghana. I break and fix computers. I did graphic designing, right? I came to America. I did support. Nobody breaks and fix computer. There's a whole department. So I work for Dell Computers. Most of you may be familiar with Dell Computers, So my break and fix comes into play being a support engineer because now I'm virtually fixing computers, no longer doing it physically. So you understand where cross-scaling comes in. My experience in graphic design means that if I'm resolving a customer problem, and then I log into the computer and say, oh, if I'm trying to do this program, you say your computer is not working. What is the problem? Oh, I'm trying to run this program and it's freezing. Now, you and I know that doesn't mean the computer is bad, right? It's possible it is the program. Now, the fact that I have some software knowledge means that I may be able to help that person and try to apply that knowledge into what I'm doing. I'm not being paid to be a software engineer. Neither am I being paid to be a graphic designer. But like I'm saying, whilst I'm on the phone with you, you want to make the customer better. So if I have another technician who's like, it's not my problem, bye-bye. And then I happen to know, oh, you know what? This program you're running, I'm familiar with it. Actually, this is what my experience tells me that could happen. This is why it freezes. So can you do A, B, C? Now, even though I wasn't paid to do that, my knowledge of that, not enough for me to be, a software engineer, is helping me be a better engineer. So the customer is happy, Dell is happy, they'll go back and buy Dell, and I get paid to actually keep my job. Does it make sense? So yes, if you know both, you actually be a better person than the first person who just knows enough to get job done. You understand? So yes, grab as much as you can. But what I'm saying is that do not shy away just because you think that it is not something that I will end up doing. Grab that knowledge because it could help you along the way to understand what you are doing better. I hope I've clarified that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, so does anyone also have question? You can unmute yourself if you have questions. I'm sure you all have a lot of questions, so this is the time to ask your questions. Yes, Osman, that's our captain.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for the brief lecture. We have learned a lot about reskilling, upskilling, and cross-skilling. What I want to ask is it good to specialize along the line? Because they say jack of all trades, master of none. Or as somebody starting out, what would your advice be? Is it to just keep learning everything that comes on the way, or to just focus on a particular aspect?
Yeah, I think I would advise you specialize. It's always good to be, to be known to have a specific, skill set. The issue of, reskilling and getting another knowledge is only, like I said, to enhance the existing one. Now, you cannot enhance an existing knowledge if you are not a master of that knowledge. So first, you have to be, ready to be called a particular, job function. So if you are content, a social media content creator or something, for as an example, you should be able to know your job in and out and be a master of that. Now, along the way, like I'm saying, it may be good just because when you say content, I mean, social media is full of everything, right? Take LinkedIn. I don't know if some of you have your profiles on LinkedIn. LinkedIn used to be, we use it only to get a job. Now go to LinkedIn. It's not only that. People are using that to impart knowledge. People are sharing content. People are actually using it as a, how do you call it, social, they are fighting social causes on LinkedIn. So you see how it moved from one specific area, and now people are utilizing other skill sets to make that same content better. So most of us can now consume LinkedIn, whereas in the beginning, it used to be only to go there and look for a job, and that's it. Does it make sense? So you be a master of one particular thing, and then once you are good at it and you've got a job, then now you can start looking at another area. And it's always good to have more than one skill set. Why? Because the landscape is changing. Right now it is we are moving to AI. If you don't know AI, you can be called anything. You'll be left behind. Now it is cloud computing. You can't have any knowledge without knowing a little bit of cloud computing, because you go to a job, they may give you a computer, but then the computer is nothing. You have to log into a cloud and do all your work on a cloud, because they want more security. They want it to be shareable so that anyone in the world can actually share the same content. So you see how you may just have one skill, but then you also have to upskill yourself so that you know how to use certain things. Very soon, if you don't know anything about AI, I'm sure we'll lose our jobs. So I'm already starting to learn AI. Why? Because it is being integrated in everything. So you have to be ready for that as well.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, so does anyone else have questions? The new students, do you have any questions? This is the time to ask your questions if you have questions, so that way you can get yourself familiarized and have your set goals. And this topic is very, very important in order to progress on this program that we are running. Very, very important. Upskilling, cross-skilling, and reskilling. So if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask your questions.
Okay, if you don't have any, I have a question for you. And, I'm not choosing anyone per se. Okay, somebody say, what skills do you advocate for an aspiring virtual assistant? Well, I will leave that to, my brother Muzemi to answer that, because I don't know the amount of, the courses that you are taking, but, so yeah, brother Muzemi, somebody asked a question. What skills do you advocate for an aspiring virtual assistant?
Okay, that's a very good question. So for an aspiring virtual assistant, which you are all here for, they are all here to become a virtual assistant, although they are come from different backgrounds. They have some are from social media background, some of them are from writing background, copywriting, and all of those things. So what we do, especially on this program, is that we try to cross-skill them, because whenever a client comes in, we don't know what the client is coming with. The client might be needing someone for copywriting, someone for graphic design, someone for website management. So because it's on an unknown opportunity, unknown, unseeable foresight yet. So we're trying to give them a bit of everything, so that whenever a client comes, then we can upskill them. So the goal is to train them on a bit of everything, and then whenever a client comes, or if they land themselves with client, and this client is needing like for example, social media manager, right? At that time, we work hand in hand with the VA to upskill that we'll focus on that with that VA, and that for that VA to specialize in that. So, but for right now, it's good to have a bit of everything as a virtual assistant, because don't forget, the word virtual is you are going to be working virtually on anything that the clients want or demand, right? So it can be copywriting, it can be graphic design. The client might even want everything, a bit of everything, right? That's why you have to stand out, right? Having all the skills is you will be able to stand out, because if a client comes and say, oh, I need someone to create content on my website and also do some graphic work, right? And you are a content creator, right? But you are not, you don't know anything about graphic design, then we will look for someone who has those two, right? So is a world of competition, right? And that's what our speaker told us. Like, we need to, as the world is evolving and rapidly moving, you also need to move with the flow. So I would say, yeah, you can get a bit of everything out and see what you're best in doing. Like, so yeah, I think that's how I will put the answer to that question.
Yeah, so and I think just to re-emphasize, I agree with him, and I mean, I'm not promising anything, but like I mentioned previously, you cannot, almost everything now is done on the cloud. I would work with Brother Muzemil and see if I can spare some time and then, give you a free training on, AWS in particular. That is what I have a lot of specialty in, just so that you understand what is cloud computing when we talk about cloud computing. So with your permission, like I said, I'll work with him and then I'll sacrifice some time and then have a lecture for you just to introduce you to just an introduction. Because like I said, you can't be a specialist, on cloud. But whatever you are doing, whatever you are studying right now, if your client is already present on the cloud computing sphere and they want this job to be actually uploaded on it, or they want you to actually log in and then do the work over there, then yes, you would want to have a fair idea. If you have your students having a fair knowledge about it, I think it will help them a lot. And so they can put that on their resume. So this is something I will work with Brother Muzamil, and then I will spare some time to do that for you.
Perfect. We thank you so much. And that's a very glad tidings from you. Thank you so much. And yeah, so the show would appreciate that a lot. So yeah, because even cloud computing, I have not really, I don't think I've ever taken cloud. So I also learn a lot from that because as you said, but that is something that is very, very, that's what the world are moving into, putting everything on cloud. Even this Zoom, right? Zoom we are running, right? I have to record it on cloud.
Yeah.
So I have to delete some profile, some previous recording to allow more space, right? So everything is going into cloud, and it's going to be easy for them to access later on to say that, if they want to watch it back. So yeah, so that will be very, very helpful in this regard. So yes, does anyone have any question? I think after you want to ask.
Yeah, I wanted to ask a question, and anyone can answer. The question I wanted to ask is, do you foresee any challenges that can potentially prevent you from doing this course, any of the courses that you're doing? Do you see, if yes, what are those challenges?
Yes. So please, if you're gonna answer the question, please introduce yourself and want to get to know you, and then answer the question by introducing yourself and why you joined this program, and also answer the question.
Good evening, sir.
Oh, okay.
Good
Okay,
evening, sir.
I think like almost 7 people are muted at simultaneously. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna call you can I'm gonna call on you, raise up your hand, and then I will unmute you. Then you speak one at a time. Okay. So I think I saw Ikakem, right? Ikakem, I think Ekanem. You can unmute yourself and speak. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, I'm very happy to be here. So I applied for cybersecurity. So how am I going to go about it?
Ikakem, you didn't introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Ikake Ekanem. That is my name.
Okay. So what's your question?
Okay,
no, it's not time for question.
I asked a question and I was expecting an answer to my question.
Okay, I thought it's time for question.
After the answer, you can ask the question.
Okay.
Okay. So Alicia, I think I saw Alicia. There's a number. You can unmute yourself and speak. Yes, Alicia, you can unmute yourself. I saw you raise up your hand.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Ali Agogo. My answer is yes, because I feel network issues and all that. Aside the network issues and maybe one or two things due to network, that's my own answer.
Okay.
So
Okay.
aside that, I don't see anything that is going to hinder any one of us. Or let me speak for myself. I don't see anything that's going to hinder me from attending the class, because it's going to be very impactful and it's going to help us in all our ways. Because like you said earlier on, the world is revolving more around networking, and it's no more like the olden days where we used to do with only manual things, but it's just revolving more around the network aspect of it.
All right. Interesting. And I'm not surprised with your answer. And I think it is a very common. The reason I mentioned this, I'd wanted to actually add it in my lecture, but I decided to rather ask you, all of you. And I've seen at least two people have answered this as well. One person mentioned network issues. Another person mentioned the fact that they want to transition into remote work, again, network. And then the challenges they foresee is finances. So it's either money or network. And the two can actually go hand in hand. Now, I'm from Africa, so we speak the same language. I don't mean like I speak your language, Igbo or Yoruba or something. I don't speak Yoruba. But when I say we speak the same language, it means we understand our terrain, and then we all understand some of the problems we've all been facing. And, luckily I go home often, at least once a year. And I've tried to, teach, for free, some kids back in Ghana, teach them technology and stuff like that. And there's always one challenge or the other. And because I don't want you to fail, having listened to Brother Muzemil and what they are trying to help you guys achieve, I thought that this is an important topic that needs to be addressed. Because, and this applies to everything in life. So this is not necessarily just this specific, how to call it, program that you are doing, but in everything that you set, your eyes to do, you have to take pen and paper. And I urge you to do that. I've just prompted you and someone that's mentioned. So you need a pen and a paper. If you are someone who has a board, a whiteboard, a blackboard in their room, then write it down. I want you to all identify the problems, just like I asked you. So I've decided I want to do, somebody was asking about cybersecurity. I want to do cybersecurity. Somebody wants to do, content creation. Somebody wants to do graphic design. What are the potential challenges? Write them down. Because if you don't identify the potential challenges, then when they appear or they rear their head, it becomes a surprise and then you lose. But if you are aware of the potential challenges, what it means is that you can meticulously look at those challenges and see what you can do to fix those challenges. Does it make sense? So network issues is a real issue back home in Africa. It doesn't matter whether you are rich or not. I mean, it is a real issue. However, I can see most of you, I'm looking at the attendance and I'm surprised. I see about 45 people actually on the platform right now. That is a large number. So it means that it is doable. But then there are instances where the network would go haywire, right? So why am I bringing this? You have to start understanding what you have to do to enhance your network. Most of us are using phones. I mean, I don't know, I'm sure it's the same as Nigeria, where, you buy a bundle of data and it's on your phone, and then you share the data with your computer, for instance, and make it a hotspot, and then connect wirelessly to it, and then that becomes your network, So if you know that this is a real issue, right, you have to start learning some of the tricks that will make sure that your network stays sane. You sanitize your network, basically. For instance, you can't be jumping on a Zoom call learning and then have other programs actually running on your phone. If you are using your phone as a medium to share your network, make sure you turn off as many applications as possible, because for your bundle, what is happening is that every application that is using the internet is actually eating from your bandwidth. So I go home, like I said, often, and sometimes I work from Ghana. And this is some of the challenges. Everybody will say you can't do it, and I'm able to do it. And I wonder why they cannot do it. I'm the same person, the same network, the same, if it is MTN, I'm using MTN. And another person is complaining that everything is slow and I'm able to work seamlessly. But it is because we are not using the technology the way it's supposed to use. We are wasting the bandwidth we have. So you can afford only 100 naira, and you can buy so much data points, right, to use for your school. And then you use the same to watch soccer. I watch soccer a lot, so Arsenal is playing and you are using it on your phone to watch this. What is going to happen? It's time for your class, and then you're in the middle of the class, and then they throttle you down because you've gone from a 5G to a 4G or something. So what I'm saying is that be aware of some of what would cause this thing to happen. That wouldn't solve the financial problem, but still, it is applicable to finance as well. So it is likely that it's time for you to, you have the network, but you don't have money to buy data. That means that you have to use the little money you have wisely. Save enough because you have a goal. I am going to be studying and I need so much data. So every little money that before the class I would have used it to do something else that is not very important, I will save that money because I know I need money to buy data. And if I buy data, this is what I can do among many that I can do to enhance my network. So this is just one or two of the potential problems. Every one of you, the 40 plus people on the platform, may have their own individual challenges. Some may be because they live in a house where there's no privacy. Their siblings may be disturbing them when they are learning. So list it down. Don't just assume that this is a potential problem. Write it down, and then as you solve that problem, you cross out. It may get to a point where some of them you cannot cross out because you don't have the solution. That is where you talk to someone. Even if it is financial, you'll be surprised how someone knows how serious you are and knows that this is your goal. This is what you're going to do. And you're able to prove to the person, I've done A, B, C, but this is why I'm left. And I need so much to be able to go to the next level. They are more likely to help you because they know you have a set goal. It's written down. It is achievable. And so if you need help, someone can help you. But most of them, you can actually cross out them because you'll be able to solve them since you have identified them. So, the wisdom in me asking this question is just to let you know the importance of identifying the problems that you are likely to face and work towards resolving those problems. That way you can achieve the goal you've set to achieve. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fatai. Yes, I think some people might also Agbola Sodiq. I think you can unmute yourself.
Thank you very much for the lecture. I think from my own side, the problem I think I foresee the challenges I will be facing in this called the client acquisition and technical editor.
Agbola, we can't hear you very clearly. What did you say? What did you say? Can you repeat?
Yes, sir. I said the challenges I think I'll be facing in this course is client acquisition and technical issues, sir.
Okay. Fatai,
Yeah, I'm not so sure. Since I'm not, part of the training program, I wouldn't know the type of clients, if you take, are you talking about the client application that you'll be using for learning? Or I'm not so sure if I understand the question or the issue. It wasn't more, it's basically stating the problem that you think you will face. Can you repeat what you said or type it in? You said client acquisition or client application?
I think it's client acquisition. Agbola, can you emphasize more on what you said?
Yes, sir. What I mean by client acquisition is how to get people to advertise my skill too. Okay, for instance, now I have an account on LinkedIn or maybe any social media account. What can I do to get clients that will buy my service?
Oh, okay. Well, I think I mean that is outside of what we are doing right now, because from my understanding, this particular training, not only are they training you, but then they also are the ones that are actually making you ready for them to actually get clients for you. So basically, clients are seeking for personnel who have those skill sets, and that applies even if you are not here. You know, you have to be marketable so that people would see you. Now, of course, you have to learn how to prepare your resume. Nobody goes and then physically read resume anymore. All of them uses, search engines. They have specific applications that would scan. If it is LinkedIn, that would pass, it's a logic that will go through and then pick up certain keywords that they need. So for instance, if you go in my resume, if I know that I'm an engineer, engineering would be one, but then there are so many engineering. Am I skilled in cloud? I'll make sure that cloud engineering is part of me being an engineer. And then if it is an application that I have special, I'll make sure application is also very visible in my resume. So that is basically, but for this particular situation or this course, I understand that you don't have to even worry about it, because all you have to do is to just learn the skill, and then clients would rather look for you using the platform that you have. Am I correct, Brother Muzemil?
Yes, you're absolutely correct. So yes, so what we did for them is that they are climbing the ladder. So we are trying to take with them step by step. The first thing is to get them enrolled, get them prepared for the job market. So we train them and look at their dedication, and then we help them with their resume as well. So to build their profile, how to structure their resume, what to be on your resume as well. Then two ways on getting a client is if that client comes looking for you or you go looking for client. So our goal is that client will come looking for you. And also we want you to also take the effort of looking for client as well. So we so far the as you said, Fatah, is that the SEO plays a big role in this. So this just last week or last 2 weeks, we tried working on the website SEO, the platform that they have, and we had about two clients coming to message some of our VAs that they might need their service, right? And there are even some of them are in the process of interviewing them, and I also got from some of them that they got the job. So, but the goal is that we don't want them to climb the ladder step by step, remain patient and dedicate yourself. So, because we want to be able to vouch for you that yes, we train this VA, and we can give our full 100% confidence in that VA that we train, that will bring, the best to your business or to your company. So it's ladder by ladder, step by step, and some of them we give them internship, right? We give them internship opportunity to work as an intern for some time to see what they can offer, what they can give in, right? And then we communicate with their client to see how they did, right? How they did, because that way it's gonna also help them. So yes, so that's the answer to that question that you asked, Agola. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So yeah, I think so far so good. I don't think anyone has any questions, but okay, contribution. Faith, yeah, I saw you raising up your hand. You can come in. You can unmute yourself.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello,
We can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Fatai, for sharing with us your knowledge. So about the challenges, some of them that you mentioned about network. So it was around last year, December. I was on Google checking out what are the services one can offer with their phone, and what are the problems that one can encounter during those times. So before I got this, I came across virtual assistant Nigeria around January. So before the program, I had spoken to my sister. She borrowed me a laptop to be joining the program. So I've been able to get a laptop. I've been able to get a Wi-Fi, and because I'm concentrating on customer care, I'm working towards getting a power bank and also an headset. So what I'm saying in essence is, when there are situations that you find yourself, so you want to come out of that situation by all means. You will not be looking at the problems. You will look for any way out. What will make life easy for you? What will support that step they are trying to take? So that's my contribution. Thank you. And then my sister, I stay with my sister. Mainly, she knows I usually have classes on Sunday evening by 5:30. So she tries as much as possible to excuse me. So she's the owner of the house, but even if she's at home, she is like as quiet as possible. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Faith Danjuma, for the contribution that you made, and we appreciate you for saying those motivational words. Yes, Balogun. Yes, you can unmute yourself.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for this time, Mr. Fatai and coordinator as well. My question, okay, I was one that started earlier, and I just got a new insight on how to enhance network for remote works, because I think 2 days last week I do data annotation. So 2 days last week, network, all my ISPs just chose to like frustrate in one day like that. So I don't have this information you gave earlier that there's room to shut every other apps on one phone to improve network. Thank you for that. Then secondly is before I got my data annotation, I've been into data analytics. I've been learning data analytics. I've been on Excel, but I have an issue I want to mention, which is on crossing to Power BI. I installed Power BI on my Dell system, although it's 4 gig RAM, and when I'm about to like load data, it's just hang for a very long time. At times it will load, at times it will just be like that till I just like close up. But when I was running Excel, it was working perfectly with Excel. I could do many things, even visualization in Excel. But since I've been trying to go cross to Power BI because of the importance of the relevance of Power BI data analytics, I've been trying to start on that as well to improve the learning. But I don't know if there is anything you can like help put me through to like do on the system to enhance the productivity.
Yeah. Now, when you mentioned the fact that it works, you were referring to Excel, right? Microsoft Excel. You said it works very well in
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Obviously, Power BI as a software, I've played around with Power BI. I'm not a data analytics, so but then just about upscaling, because of that, I actually did play around with it. I know how you can upload data into it and play around with data and create visualizations and the rest. And so the little I know about Power BI is the fact that, number one, it is a very, what's the right word? It's a big program, basically. It eats up a lot of memory because of the way they designed it. Okay, so that's number one. So compared to Excel, there are two different applications. So the amount of memory when people design programs, okay, they design programs using what we call kernels, and those kernels actually you basically allot some amount of memory that the kernel requires to be able to run the program that you've written for it. And so a good programmer is supposed to write the program so that, or the application so that it doesn't require as much memory. Now, of course, some programs just need more memory to run. So basically what you want to look at is see how much memory you have on your computer. Sometimes it may just require you improving your memory. You don't need a new computer. Some people think anytime your computer is running slow, you just need a new computer. No, you just go, I don't know, here you go to Google and then, or eBay or wherever, find out the type of memory you need, and I'm sure it's the same in Africa. Ghana, we have a particular marketplace where there are a lot of Chinese products. They sell memory chips. You find out the one that works with your computer. If you are currently having only 8 gig, you may want to upgrade to 16 gig and see if that solves the problem. Now, before you want to also jump into seeing whether it's a memory issue, what you can also do, if I assume you are using a PC, right? Is it like a PC and not a Mac, right?
No. No, it's a PC.
It's a PC,
Mac.
okay. Yeah, if it's a PC, are you familiar with Task Manager?
Task Manager, yes, I've seen
Okay.
that.
So for all of you, and this knowledge is very important for all of you, it's a very basic troubleshooting procedure. If you have anything hanging or anything not running well, and you want to find out what the problem is. So on your computer, on the very bottom, towards where your clock is, your watch is, on the lower right-hand corner, if you right-click anywhere there, you'll find Task Manager or Task Settings, taskbar settings. Now, if you open your Task Manager when you are running an issue, when you are running a program is hanging, you will be able to see how much memory each program is actually utilizing, is taking. So it is divided into CPU, memory, disk, and network. So you will see which of your program is actually taking a lot of your network. Here, it means that, okay, and is that Brother Muzemil?
It should be the one.
Muzemil, is that you?
Yes, it's the one sharing his
Okay,
screen.
good. Yeah, so this is exactly what I was saying.
It's me, yes.
Yeah, so look at this example. So you see right there, you see, because we have he has 71 tabs open in Google Chrome. You see how much it is using compared to everything else, right? Your memory, it alone is using 3,932 megabytes, right? Whereas the rest are not using that much. So basically what I'm saying is that if you are running your program, you open it and then it's hanging, just come in here and scroll through and see if you find any program that is freezing. Some of them will tell you it will tell you the status as not responding. Or a different program, whenever you launch Power BI, may also be launching at the same time when you launch Power BI and causing it to freeze. Okay. Over here, you'll be able to see it. And Brother Muzemil, if you right-click any of the programs you're not using right now, as an example, just write any one you are not using. You see how when you run, you can actually end the task. So you can just say end the task and it will shut that task down immediately. Okay. Now, if it is still freezing, you see where it says search online, you can actually click on search online and it will take you to Google and bring up all the likely programs that will be running that will cause it to actually freeze. And you find your own solution right there. But if you come in here and you see that it uses a lot of your memory. So here, Muzemin is already using 75% of his memory. So it means that if he opens another program as big as Power BI, guess what? What's going to happen? He will be getting closer to 100% of his memory. and everything is going to start slowing down. So on the left side, you see how many apps he has, 11. He doesn't need everything to be open right now, but he has it, and it hasn't caused a problem, so he doesn't care. You understand? But if for you, it is causing a problem, you go right click, and then this gives you the opportunity to close those that you don't need, so that you have only Power BI and a few ones running. Also, go all the way down, you see the background processes. 77 background processes are running. What these are doing is that these are running whether you open them or not. Some of them are malware. They are not supposed to be running, but they are always scanning because you went and downloaded something, and whatever you were downloading came with a baggage, something else installed. But you don't need it. So this is an opportunity for you to go through all the list of the background processes and see, are all of them needed? Are they things you know you installed yourself? If you see anything suspicious, research about it. Go to Google, find out the name of the program. I don't need this. Go ahead, uninstall it, and you make your computer better. So this is where you can start from. If you exhaust this, then maybe the issue of memory become a problem, and you can just always open your computer and add another memory to it. Those are also very easy to do.
Thank you very much for
Can I
that.
contribute?
I can see some. Okay. Go ahead.
Can I contribute to his question?
Sure.
Okay, so I had this same issue. A data analyst as well. I had the same issue after doing my Excel, and then I moved to Power BI. I had this issue of my computer lagging, my system lagging rather. And what I did is just to upgrade my RAM. I had 4 GB, I upgraded to 8. And since then, I have not had this issue again. So if you're using a lower RAM space, I'll just opt like that you upgrade it. And then all these issues sorted out. Thank you.
So please, I want to ask a question. Based on your explanation, the background processes, most of the names are strange. So how do we install or uninstall them?
Yeah, but I can share my screen just to make the easier. Do I have the permission to share my screen, Baramuzami?
Yes, please do.
Okay.
Oh, let me put it to multi-share. Okay, now you can share.
All right.
Now you can share.
All right. So this is my how do you call it? My task manager, right? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can see.
Yeah. So let me take an example. Like this is service shell, right? I have no clue what service shell is, right? But if I expand it, it says Dell Client Management. So I know it is a program that belongs to Dell computers. So if I'm using Dell computers, then I know, okay, it may have something to do with Dell. If I'm using, let's say, HP, and I see Dell Client Management, you know it shouldn't be there, right? Now, let's say even though it is Dell, it's Dell Client Management. That doesn't mean it has to be running on my computer necessarily, because every manufacturer of a computer will install so many services. Why? Because they want to gather data. I've worked for, a computer company like Dell. So I know it comes installed with so many things that you don't need to be running on your computer. Most of them are just gathering data. Yes, it may help with diagnostics, for instance. So if you run diagnostics to find out what is wrong with your computer, some of them are helpful to gather data so that it can give the computer, the software enough information to run the diagnosis and pick up what the problem is. But some of them are actually not needed. So what do? The same way, you right-click, right? You go ahead and do search online. If you do search online, this is what happens. You see, it takes you to Google, and you see the information, the same Dell Client Management, right there it is. It tells you it is a Windows service that facilitates the remote management and monitoring of Dell computers. What did I just tell you about gathering data? So you don't need this to be running on your computer. You understand? This is just one example. Oh, somebody say it isn't showing here. What do you mean it isn't showing? You cannot see my screen?
Yes, I can't see other screen, sir.
Oh, okay. My bad. Hold on. I think I was just sharing a specific window. That is why. Give me a second. I will reshare the whole screen space. Give me a second. Sorry about that. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You can see the whole screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Thank you, sir.
So let me go ahead and repeat what I did previous so you see what I was talking about. So I close this. And then going back to the example, this is an example of a program you don't know what it is. It has a funny name, Service Shell. I don't know what Service Shell is. So I click on it to open, expand it. And from inside, I see that it says it's a Dell client management. I still don't know if my computer needs it or not. Currently, it's not consuming much. It's 0% CPU utilization, but it is taking about 34.5 megabytes of my RAM, right? So I want to know if I need it for my computer. So I right click and I have the option to stop it, to open the service, or to search online. I want to know if I need it. So I just go ahead and then click on search online. And that would open, Google, if you're using Google or Microsoft, whatever. But at least it will open, your search engine. In this case, my search engine was, how do you call it? Microsoft. And so it did open Microsoft Bing as my set, but it will give you a solution basically. And in this case, this is a solution that it is showing. Give me a second. I think I don't use Microsoft that much, so it requires an update, but never mind. But basically, it will take you straight to a search and a result of what you search for. So in this case, their client management is nothing but a Windows service that facilitates the remote management and monitoring of Dell computers. So the question is, this is only good for if case I contact Dell and they want to connect to my computer to help me. And this is not to say anything, negative about being in Africa. If I'm in Africa, I won't even get hold of them, right? I mean, I don't use this service if I'm back home. And if I don't have warranty, this is also useless for me. It's only when I have warranty on my computer and I need help from them, then they'll be able to use remote service to connect to my computer, which means at this very stage, when I don't have a warranty and I'm not likely to contact Dell, this thing is useless. So I can kill it and then save myself 34.4 megabytes of RAM all the time. Does it make sense? And the same applies to anything else that you see here. So yes, I agree. Some of them have very funny names like this one. This is a screen recording. Sometimes I didn't even install it. You may have installed it accidentally. So going through this and looking at your inventory and doing a search and finding out what this is always helps you to determine whether you should remove it or you shouldn't remove it. Some of them may be hard to remove. So you can just stop it in that case. You can just right click and then hit end task. And you can even edit your start, how certain programs run all the time. You can edit it and prevent it from ever starting again. Or once you find the name, you go to programs, add programs and remove programs and use it to remove it so that it no longer actually remains on your computer. So this is always a good start. Whether your computer is running fine right now or not, you can enhance the performance of your computer by taking inventory of this thing and finding out what is always running and what should it even be in your computer to begin with. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, sir. Well, quickly, sir, please. On following the process, I have one taking over 120 memory space. So I did the search thing and I got a note that is a background running service in Windows Defender.
Yes, that is why you don't stop it. That's why you don't stop it until you research it. Remember the process I told you? I told you to research it. And only if you found out that it's not important, do you stop it or try to uninstall it. So again, Windows Defender, for instance, is that what you are using? You may have Windows Defender on your computer, but you are not using it to scan for viruses on your computer. Maybe especially virus scanning programs, software. They are the biggest culprit when it comes to our computers running slowly. Why? Because when you have a computer, most of them will come with a test software like McAfee, like Norton, Windows Defender comes free. It's part of Microsoft, so that is understandable. But sometimes you have that, and then you have another antivirus program. Some people think having more antivirus program actually helps them. No, it actually kills you. You shouldn't have more than one antivirus program. It's like, having 2 or 3 cooks in the same kitchen trying to cook the same meal. Does it make sense? If you have 2 or 3 people trying to cook the same meal, what happens? Everybody will be fighting. No, you should add more pepper. That's exactly what happens with the antivirus program. Decide on one antivirus program, uninstall all the rest that are on your computer. All they do is to try and run a scan on the same thing and give you varying, results. And, they will tell you this is not good, this is good. Another person is sanctioning one software, another software is not sanctioning it. So one of the things you want to take a look at is that Windows Defender, like I said, is free. So make sure that if that is the only one you have, that is the only one you have. Are you also using it? If you're using it, fine. I don't have an antivirus program. I hate antivirus programs on my computer. I don't have any. The reason being that I know what I download. If you are not disciplined or there's more than one person using your computer, then yes, you always have to have an antivirus program and run a scan, intermittently. Luckily for some of us in Africa, we are not always on the internet, which means that we are less vulnerable. Those of us in the West, because we have almost, unlimited internet, our computers are constantly on the internet and constantly on, which means that we are more vulnerable. So if you have an antivirus program, it is likely to catch a suspecting software that is being installed without your knowledge. But if you barely go on the internet, or you only go on the internet when you are working and you wouldn't go to download anything, you can get rid of antivirus programs, because trust me, they eat up a lot of space. You can just check on your task manager and look at your antivirus program. You see how much memory and CPU it is taking most of the time. They are one of the biggest culprits, on affecting the performance of our computer. Yeah. So please do not stop or uninstall anything until you have searched and found out what it does. If you don't understand, go to Google, research more. What does this do? And then read. I mean, thank Google. We can actually find solutions ourselves and then decide whether it is useful or not. But do not stop any service until you know it is not doing anything good on your computer.
Right. Thank you very much for the update.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Fatai. I hope we have all learned a lot, even beyond our expectation from our brother Abdul Fattah. So, and as I said, he has given us the indication that it will be coming to coach us on some of those things that from his knowledge that he knows that will be beneficial to you, especially what he just showed you all is very, very important. That's even the basic, knowing your system. Because even before you go into virtual work and all, you have to know your system. You have to know how to operate your system, run your system, and how it works, the tax bar, how to end the program, and all of those things. Else, you'll be having issues, even if you know what you want to do, like the job. But you have to start from the basic. How does your computer work? What are the functionality or features on your computer, right? How do you capture a screen, like on your computer? How do you cut out a portion and send it to maybe like to your team members? So all those things is very, very important to become a VA, because VA, your tool, your weapon is your computer, right? So knowing it in and out of it is really, 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 really very important before even talking about content creation, graphic design, and all of those things. So yes, I want to thank our speaker again and for these gems of knowledge that you have shared, and we appreciate you a lot. So and those of you who are new, we have a WhatsApp group that we created. We expect all of you should have joined our WhatsApp group because that's our main mode of communication. So whenever we have a class, we're going to send out a link and all of those things. So please, if you haven't joined the link, the WhatsApp group, let us know so that we can add you on that group. So with that being said, I think it's time. So I am going to excuse our speaker because he also have some other things that are on his schedule. So Fatai, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you often as you've stated to us.
Inshallah. Thank you. Have a
Thank
good day.
Likewise.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. So does anyone have any questions in regards to this program? I know we are supposed to
Yes,
answer
sir.
some of your questions, but yes, go ahead.
I want to get how flexible our training is going to be because some of us have some other engagements, so we can know how to optimize our time.
Okay, perfect. Did you say you wanted to know how flexible the training will be?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
The
that's a
plan,
very
the training plan.
the training plan. Okay, perfect. That's a very, very crucial question that you asked, especially for those who are just joining. It will be beneficial for everyone. So the training plan and the process is we only meet once a week. We only meet once a week. So meaning you have all the 7 day, the 6 days to yourself. So we only meet once a week on Zoom like this. So we with that, because of the limited time and we trying to equip knowledge into you, we take attendance very serious. So what usually happen is that after you miss more than 2 classes, we exit you out from the program. So because we really, really take attendance serious in the sense that we only meet once a week, and that once a week, you're looking at about 1 hour meeting, right? At a minimum, at least 1 hour. So it's very, very small to, download all this knowledge, right? So what we do is that if you're going to be missing any meeting, even 1 or 2 meetings, you have to let the captain know. We have a captain, Usman Abdurrahman. So you have to let the captain know if it's what you need to attend to is very, very, crucial or an emergency or very urgent and you don't have any option, then we might consider that like you have to notify before you do not appear in class because we take attendance. So we meet once a week. Attendance is crucial. After missing 2 classes simultaneously, we exit you out of the program. And this coursework is you're looking at three semester, just like school, right? Or 3 terms. So the first 3 months, we're going to use it to equip you with the knowledge that we are looking at for you to get a client rate. So that's the first thing to build you up, build your resume, your profile, get you on the platform, uh, start teaching you what you need to know about web management, social media, copywriting, content creation, all those things that we are going to be teaching you. So the first stage is what we are going to be training you on that for like at least 3 months. But within that 3 month period, If any opportunity shows up, we can bring it your way. If we confidence in you that yes, you can stand, I mean, you can give what it takes to perform well on that job, right? So that's the first 3 months. So we are giving you a platform, Virtual Assistant Nigeria, having your profile on it. So have your profile on it. Anyone who is going to have his profile on our platform has to be on the program. So in case your friend wants to join this program, I mean, wants to have his profile on the platform like fiverr.com, freelancer.com, and all of this. Our own process is that you can't just join the platform like that. We will not approve your resume. You have to come through the training process. Because what we are doing, the difference between us and other platform is that other platform you can just go and sign up and create a resume profile. But us, we won't allow you to sign up or create a resume if you are not within a platform, within a training program. Because why we do this is we want to make sure that we train you and we are able to confidently vouch for you whenever a client comes seeking you. That yeah, we know your weakness, we know you're good at this and that, like that. So that is the first process, right? First time 3 months, second time 3 months, fourth time 3 months, and you can always be on the program as long as you want, because this program you're not only getting training opportunity, you're also getting networking opportunities. Just like our speaker that I invited, I'm gonna be inviting speakers to speak on different subjects from different calibers, right? So you're getting that benefit, something that you are gonna pay for, going to conferences or boot camp. We're bringing it to you, right? Free of charge. So the only things you can give to us is your dedication and your willingness. So all the policies that we have put in place, that's the only thing that we're asking you for. So we're going to be dishing out assignment, weekly assignments that you have to meet up to. So they will, whenever we meet on Sunday like this, we give you weekly assignments and projects. We have a deadline every week for that project to be submitted. If you miss one or two, if you miss more than two assignments, then we also kick out. That's how we have been doing. In fact, we have a lot of people that join us initially, but not everybody gets to the end, right? So the assignment, make sure you're doing it at your own speed. And this assignment is something that would not really take much time, like 30 minutes of your time in a day. So because the assignment goal is to train you on what we want you to have as skills. So we give out weekly assignment. The sometimes you have to meet with the captain, or if you have any question, always ask the captain, because myself, I'm the coach, as you know. So usually I'm very, very tight. My schedules are tight, are busy. But if you want to reach, like get an answer very quick, just reach out to Captain Osman Abdulrahman is going to assist you. If he needs to reach out to me, then he would bring that urgent matter to me. But I am always present with you on the group, right? So that is how the processes work. So those of you who just join us, we're gonna be working with you hand in hand to create your resume. The first thing is want to make sure that we create your resume, step by step, give you some projects, and also we're gonna be giving you some program to do on your own, and at the end of it, you're gonna issue a certificate. So that certificate is what you're gonna need to upload on your portfolio. So, but as I said, no rush, step by step. We're going to be climbing the ladder step by step. So that is something that I think you should all expect as a new incoming student of ours. So with that being said, Usman, am I missing anything that they are needing to know?
No, I think you have said most of the things we'll be doing during the class.
Okay, and also we have pre-recorded classes on some of the things that you need to catch up with. So we're going to be sharing the pre-recorded classes every week to watch and catch up with where we are. Because usually it's very tedious to go back to teach the same course that we have taught those of your senior level. So what we did is that we have a pre-recorded version of all the classes. So what we are gonna do is for you to learn on your own. It's called self-learning. So you're gonna take some time out of your time in the week, watch the classes, do the assignment, and that's how you catch up to where we are right now. Okay, so does anyone have any question at this point before we call it a day? Does anyone have any question in regards to this class or anything in regards to? Okay, so I think we are all on the same page. And we are going to be, today we are going to skip the class attendance for the new students. So, but if you have not joined the link, please go and join it for the WhatsApp group. So for now, I think we are all good. And then we hope to see you around this same time next Sunday. Around this same time next Sunday. All right, everyone. Have a good evening and night, and we'll see you. And then we'll get familiar with all of you. Thank you very much for
Thank you,
attending.
sir.
You're welcome.